Polaroids, Instax, and instant photography is kind of cool. Very expensive, but kind of cool. I have a bunch of Polaroid cameras that I keep buying from the markets here in South Korea because they're very cheap and I just keep collecting them for some reason. I don't use them very often, but they sit there on the shelf and I appreciate them looking nice. One thing that I've been interested in recently with Polaroid photos is this thing called emulsion lift, which is essentially cutting the image out of the Polaroid plastic, putting it in water and transferring it onto another medium like paper. And I've done it a few times. Once, like a year ago when I went to the Botanic Gardens back in New Zealand, I did some lifts of the Polaroids that I shot there. And I've got a few that I've done here in Korea of various plants. And I think the whole process is really fun. So I thought, why not milk it a little bit and make a YouTube video out of it, and I will take you along the process with me. And so I went out specifically to take some photos for this occasion. I went to a place called the Oil Tank History Park or something in Korea, which I knew had a bunch of concrete and brutalist architecture, which I'm a big fan of and I thought would look really cool printed out onto paper. Some of the images turned out really good, others turned out quite terribly, but for the purpose of putting them on paper, it's fine, I won't cry too much about it. This one here turned out pretty good. Quite like this one, this will look cool printed out. This one's fine. This one's fine as well, not great, but that. And this one was just absolutely terrible, so I might just throw this one away. So now that I have these Polaroid images, let's go emulsify. Let's do the whole process of getting the emulsion out and lifting it onto some paper. 2 points before I start. Number one, I am not an expert. I'm still learning. I've done this like 15 times. I am not an expert. It might go wrong. I'm going to bring you on the journey regardless, so if I make a fool of myself, then you'll get to experience that too. Second point, you're supposed to do the emulsion lifts for these images within like 3 days of taking the photo, because the glue starts to set and then it gets much harder to lift it off the plastic. I was gonna do these within 3 days, but then my visa expired and I had to go to Japan. So now it's been like 2, maybe 3 weeks since I took these photos. It might not work. Full disclosure, I have no idea. Completely demolished my room to get this little setup in the corner of my room here. I've got one camera above my head and I've got you to talk to. So let's do it. So first, obviously, I have the Polaroids that I will be cutting up. There's a few extra ones in there from other times. Scissors, important. Paintbrush, watercolor, paper things. This one's super rough and has lots of texture and stuff, and this one's really smooth. And so I think I'll use this one for the ones that I really like, and I'll use the rough stuff for the practices. I have this tub of water thing, which you will need. I have filled it this time with warm water. I've watched a bunch of tutorials on this. Some people say it doesn't matter, some people say they notice a difference. I personally, especially when the Polaroids are older and have stuck together, I find warm water works better. So I might start with this one here, just because it's not that good of a photo, and if I ruin it, I won't be too upset. Okay, so I am just going to chop. That's not even a square. Pull that. Okay, and here is the image, and this white stuff on the back is glue. I've seen a lot of people do it and this glue is stuck to the other side. I think it's just like a gamble each time which side it sticks to, and I think it might be different as well with black and white film. I think black and white might separate a little bit easier as well. So I'm gonna have to get rid of this white stuff because it dries and it gets really crusty and your image will break, like how I did in the Botanic Gardens. That wasn't meant to happen. Okay, so now I have the image, and I'm gonna put it in the water to separate it from all the other things. And I'm gonna leave that for a little bit. And while I'm here, I'll cut out another one and pull it apart, pop pop that in there also. If you want to speed the process up a little bit, you can not brush it, but like push the water towards the emulsion and kind of like blow it back a little bit. I could be waiting a while for this to separate, so I'm going to be a little bit more firm with it. These are really fragile. I don't know if I said that at the beginning. So if you're too rough with them, you're going to rip the image in half. You got to be kind of careful. Okay, now we're really starting to separate it from the plastic, which is good. You can see how much we've done so far. Tutorials on YouTube show this process a lot faster. It's either editing or I'm doing something wrong, because I've never done this quickly before. I'm gonna grab this plastic again and just wiggle it around and try to get the water to just get it to separate naturally. We're about halfway. I'm just doing it really, really tiny, because if I push too hard, it's gonna rip the whole thing in half. You can see here it started to rip a little bit, which is a shame, but can't do anything about it. Okay, that is separated. Take off this little plastic from the Polaroid, and we are left with the emulsion, this little swirly thing that kind of looks like a Dementor from Harry Potter. You can take it out of the water, and it kind of looks like a little boogie. Alright, I now have two little floaty boys. I just ripped it. I was too aggressive and too impatient. Oh boy. I'm glad I used a photo that wasn't that great, because I have demolished this. Okay, I want to embrace the rips here. I've fully pulled one off. I've quite destroyed this. So you can kind of see how quickly it can get destroyed if you're not super gentle and careful with it. I don't think I've ever decimated one quite this bad, but hey. Anyway, watercolor paper. I'm now going to put it in the water and then move the emulsion onto the paper. Just submerge that straight away. Right. But I'm moving it around a little bit with the paintbrush. I'm going to try holding down some corners and then just pulling it out of the water. That kind of worked. That actually, I'm quite happy with how that worked. So now I'm gonna half submerge it in the water and try to like straighten it out. That's about as good as it's gonna get, I think. Okay, one down, one to go. I will not ruin this one. Right, now this one's separated from the glue right from the beginning, so I haven't had to like painstakingly pull it apart. So it should be a much smoother process this time around. When they're all in one piece, it's a lot easier. You can grab the corners, pin them down to the paper, and then lift out of the water, and it transfers significantly easier. From this point, you can just grab the corners and shift them around and get the Polaroid to an orientation that you are kind of rocking with. Now, I don't mind this actually. This has a shape that I kind of enjoy. I'm not too unhappy with. I quite like it. I am satisfied enough with this. I'm kind of happy with this. I think it has quite a nice shape that complements the architecture that I was taking. So this one is pretty good. So now I'm going to leave these little boys hanging up for like a day or two, just to get the paper to really dry out properly, because it's soggy and it's wet. So yeah, these guys are going to hang out for a little while, and we'll see them in a little bit, I guess. Hello, it is the next day. I did some more lifts off camera, and I've been hanging these guys up all night and most of today, and they're looking pretty crispy. So I think we can look at them now. All right, let's start with the fails first. This one here, that was already going wrong when I was doing the lift, decided to go even more wrong by it dried up. Very flaky, very hard, and sort of started coming off the paper. So this is a lost cause, really. There's no saving that one. This one here turned out okay. It kept splitting when I was separating the glue. So, you know, there are flaws in it, but it looks okay. The image was not great to begin with, so this is kind of just like a meh one. This one turned out a lot better. I was starting to get the hang of it at this point. It's all intact, there's no rips. It came off on the paper really well. This is probably my favorite one, but it was already my favorite image, so maybe I'm a little bit biased. But this one came off really nicely. I put it on the smooth paper because I knew that it would look really good on there. Yeah, it pretty much came off flawlessly. Yeah, I really like this one. This one here I did of some leaves I took a little while ago, and it's interesting. The image was already split 50-50 by the brown leaves and the green leaves. And when it started to rip, I figured, why not split it the opposite way so we can have another line through it. I'm not sure if I love it. It's not great and it's not bad. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this one, but it's fine. So these are the 5 Polaroid lifts that I did yesterday. You got to experience some good ones and some absolutely terrible ones. So I hope that was an enjoyable video. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much. Goodbye.